Hi everybody. Today I'm going to take you through my dining room makeover. So you can kind of see behind me what it looks like now. Before it was really just this boring little area. It's not a huge footprint. It fits a dining table, kind of opens up to our living area space. This wall here is just a really long wall. So you'll see that I add some character to that throughout the video, and you can kind of see how that really transforms the space in the end. So stay tuned for part 2. Make sure you are subscribed to see part 2. So to start off this project, I wanted to have all of my cuts ready to go. These pieces of trim started out as 8-foot pieces, and my boxes are 36 inches wide and 19 inches in height. I ended up doing 5 boxes along this wall. So I just cut down each piece according to my measurements, and each corner again had to be at a miter corner. So that's what I did here. Okay, so as you can see, it's a new day because completing a project from start to finish with 3 kids is just sometimes unrealistic. So today I am working on securing the wall trim to the wall. So I'm only using brad nails with my nail gun. I find that this is just enough to keep them secure to the wall. I don't really need to use any liquid nails or glue. So I'm just making sure that they are level as I connect them to one another. Because of the miter corners, it's kind of easy to sort of put them into place. Now doing my second box, I'm just making sure that the tops are level to one another. And in one of the clips, you'll see that I actually cut down a 6-inch piece of wood that I'm using as a spacer so that I have the same amount of space in between each box. So I know that there are 6 inches in between each of the boxes, as well as 6 inches from the window frame on the left side, and even 6 inches from the baseboard on the bottom. This is just so much easier than getting out, my ruler and measuring each space to make sure that it's 6 inches. So you can see I just kept moving along down the wall. And this process really isn't that bad once you get going, as long as you have the right tools. I think this nail gun is just a really big time saver, really easy to use. And the most important thing is to just keep your boxes level. Make sure that, as you're moving along, that they are level with one another. Come on this side and hold it.
Right here? Right here?
Yeah, right there.
Push. Mommy, can you help Sissy hold it? Because you're real strong. Okay, a little more strength. So too sweet.
I know, huh? And now
just think it straight.
just make it straight, right?
Make it straight and
So
try
now
your
we're gonna add over here.
Make it straight and try your best.
And now we have a guide. Careful, Mama, don't touch, okay? Yeah. So this is what I have so far. I've put up all of the box molding I filled those holes. I have these in place. And then I had to cut these pieces here. And well, this is actually not even secured yet. I love that. Love when my math, measuring and cutting all works out as it should. You can see how those line up really nicely. I'm going to add one more box here, another box there, and I still need to secure these here because they're actually just in place because of how well they fit. So I need to actually secure them. I've just been adding liquid nails and then nailing them in with the nail gun. So I'll go ahead and do that.
Mama.
Yeah? What's wrong? Thank you? For what? What did I do? Okay, you're welcome. Now for the next step, it was time to caulk all of the seams, the edges. I think this step is really important because it's just that finishing touch that makes it look more professional. Now if you skip this step, sometimes you can see shadows underneath the trim because some walls are uneven more than others, and so the trim doesn't really lay flat against the wall, which causes the shadow underneath. And so with the caulk on the chair rail as well as the window boxes, kind of looks more professional. Like I said, kind of makes it look like this molding and trim has been there since the house was built. It just looks really original to the house. So be sure not to skip this step if you ever do a project like this. It just allows for a really clean look in the end. And now for our last step. I actually decided to repaint this wall, and I know it might seem a little silly because this wall was technically already white and I'm repainting it here in white, but a different shade of white. When we first moved in, which was a little over a year ago, our painter asked us for paint colors, and long story short, we kind of rushed and just chose the first white that we saw. So anyway, my tip here is to always sample paint colors, even if you think, white is white. There's different shades of white. You can see that the one I chose is almost like a pink, sometimes yellowish shade. So I'm really happy with the new paint color. This is Pure White by Sherwin-Williams, and I think it really opens up the space and just makes it look a lot brighter. So don't make my mistake, always test out your paint colors. Okay, and here is the final look of the dining room makeover or refresh, and that's just what it feels like. It feels so much more refreshing because of the white paint. It feels so much brighter. And even though we still have this wall pretty blank for now, because of the picture frame molding, it just feels like it has more character. It's not so plain and boring. And just those little touches add so much character and interest to the space without really overdoing it. In the coming months, I would also love to get a new dining table and dining chairs. These are actually my mother-in-law's, which she will be needing relatively soon. So that's also on the list to be replaced. And like I mentioned, I do have a really nice piece of furniture that I got on Facebook Marketplace, which I plan on putting in this area here, which is a china cabinet. It will act as a home for all of my hosting dishware, like bigger bowls, platters, things like that. I don't have a big, expansive collection of plates yet, but as I collect more, that can also be housed. Those can be housed in that piece of furniture. But in addition, I think this piece of furniture will sort of act as a divider for the dining room on my left, sort of divide that from the more living area on my right side. So it'll just also be fun to style and, you know, decorate. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It was really fun to do. I'm really happy with the transformation. I hope that you all subscribe to see part 2 and let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you next time.